Global Jubilee plus the permanent separation of church and state. Josiah Helton, September 1, 2024.
Problems. The licentious terms and conditions imposed by the state have evolved into heavy chains that entrap our souls, enforcing coarse, artificial limits upon us. This reality is particularly evident in the transformation of our public service institutions, where politicians and police, once seen as guardians of our rights and well-being, now function more like commercial referees. They have become subservient to the ebb and flow of the for-profit marketplace and its ever-shifting agendas. In doing so, they have forsaken their duty to safeguard the public interest and promote the common good, ultimately perpetuating a system that prioritizes profit over the well-being of the people they were meant to serve.
The concept of a permanent separation of church and state in a global jubilee can be understood as a call for a profound transformation of the current systems of governance and societal organization. This vision draws inspiration from the biblical concept of jubilee, which is described in Leviticus 25 and other prophetic passages. Leviticus 25 outlines the year of Jubilee, which occurs every 50 years. During this year, debts are cancelled, slaves are freed, and land is returned to its original owners. This concept symbolizes a time of liberation, restoration, and equality. In the context of a global jubilee, this could represent a radical shift towards a more equitable and just world, where the burdens of debt and systemic oppression are lifted. Isaiah 55 verses 1-2 says, "Come, all you who are thirsty, come to the waters, and you who have no money, come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without cost. Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labor on what does not satisfy? Listen, listen to me, and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare." This passage speaks of a time when God's provision is available to all, regardless of their material wealth. In the context of a permanent separation of church and state, this could imply that the spiritual realm, representing divine principles and morality, would take precedence over the worldly systems of governance, ultimately resulting in a harmonious and compassionate society where everyone's needs are met. Zechariah 3 verse 10 states, "In that day, each of you will invite your neighbor to sit under your vine and fig tree, declares the Lord Almighty." This verse portrays an idyllic scene of unity and fellowship, where people live in peace and share the abundance of the land. In the context of a global jubilee, this could signify a world where national boundaries and divisions are transcended, and humanity lives as one family, sharing the resources of the earth with love and generosity. The idea of a permanent separation of church and state in a global jubilee underscores the need for a spiritual and moral compass to guide humanity towards a more just, equitable, and compassionate world. It envisions a society where the limits imposed by de facto state governments, which often perpetuate inequality and injustice, are replaced by a system that embodies divine principles of love, unity, and abundance for all.